welcome back to my channel. This is Sonia, and today we're going to do the mid-year freak out book tag for the year of 2024. This is my first ever book tag on this channel, so we're just going to have some fun, just like kind of going over what, this year's been looking like. I'm going to kind of say it has been it feels like a little bit of a mediocre year. I feel like I've had a lot more of 3 stars and under. So there should have been a lot more disappointing books, but I was trying to keep this kind of short, light, a little bit to the point, and, still keep it positive and not go over this is like the 50 books I hated. But it kind of feels like it just because it was kind of a mediocre year. But anyway, let's get started. So the first question is, best book you've read so far in 2024. My best book was The Will of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I just did a whole full review on my channel for the full trilogy of the Mistborn. And I really did enjoy this series. I thought it was really well done. Like I said in that video, and like I'm going to say here because I haven't started reading the next, I think it's a quartet that he does in this particular universe, the Mistborn universe. I know it's the Cosmere and everything, but in this particular universe, I know there's another quartet, and that might go further into kind of what the epilogue was, but this was so good. I really did enjoy the characters, the setting, the magic. I really just enjoyed my time with this. The second question is, and yes, I'm looking at my computer. The questions are on my computer, and I will link where I'm getting the questions down below. But anyway, I have best sequel you've read. Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I really did enjoy this. I still like Red Rising a little bit better. But I think with what we're trying to gear up to for the third book, which is Morning Star, which I still haven't read yet. Ooh, I'm excited. And I'm ready to shed some tears. But yeah, this just didn't hit me as much as Red Rising did, when it came to some of the concepts and the character interactions and everything like that. It just didn't hit as much as Red Rising did. So this was still good, still 5 stars, but it just didn't hit as much as Red Rising. New release you haven't read yet but want to. 5 Broken Blades by Mal Corland. I've just heard really good things. I have not. This has been compared to Six of Crows, I believe, which is a teenage YA book that I've never read, and I haven't seen the series or anything. But it's assassins, so it could be good. I do hear that there is like a romantasy concept within here, so it just depends kind of how heavy that is compared to everything else. And if I do actually end up liking the romance, it could be a romantasy that I actually kind of fall in love with. So yeah, I'm hoping to get to this soon. And biggest disappointment of this year is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Karsara Broadbent. I love vampires, and I'm really hoping, I was really hoping for a comeback with this book. In my teen years, I read, The Vampire Academy. I was a big fan of Vampire Diaries. I read The Twilight. I read a lot. Marked, if you House of Night series. I was really into the vampire, paranormal, YA fantasy when I was in middle school, high school. So I was hoping this would hit like it hit with those, but just being, adult. I love the concept, and I love like the trials that this character has to go through. This is about a human that's in the vampire world, and she's trying to go through these trials against vampires, and things pursue. But it's just the relationship, the world hit perfectly. Now, if this was just like a regular fantasy without the romance, this would have hit hard. But because of the romantasy and as much as the relationship matters in this book, that just did not hit for me at all. So that's why it's a big disappointment. If I do pick up the second one, I'm probably just gonna pick it up on audio, just to kind of see what happens next. But I don't have good feelings about this series. The next category is a book movie adaptation. And I would say The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Now, this is a cheat, guys. I am just now actually starting it. But as much as I've read so far, the movie's pretty much keeping to the book. I know there's a couple differences. Kind of in my view with how much I've read it. And I've read like 125 pages. I'm getting more of emotional change, where you're seeing a lot more of Snow's emotion. I think the actor and like pretty much he is pretty cool, but we're in his head a lot more. So the actor did not do a bad job. Like, I'm not blaming the actor for being as cold as what he was in the movie. I watched the movie, now I'm reading the book. But with being in his head, like, I really see why he's like Lucy Gray, and his relationship is a lot more of an understanding in this book. Like, I can see why at the end, like, things might go down the way it does and the emotions go down the way they do. But like, when I was watching the movie, I was like, I don't really believe this relationship. I believe there is a lot more of in the movie. Like, yeah, he's pretty much just using her and everything. So that's kind of, I know this is like a loose edition, but I just thought I would mention it. All right. So, I kind of messed up on some of these questions, but another question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Don't really have one. I've been pretty much trying to just finish my backlist. I am pretty excited if I can get into maybe some of the Stormlight Archives. The 5th book of that is coming out. But I mean, I haven't even started that, and they're like 800 pages each. So the reality of me getting into that is probably a little low. I have a couple of anticipated couple books that I want to read. And I know Onyx Storm is coming out, which is the 3rd book of the 4th Wing. I don't know if it's a trilogy. It's just a series. And if I like that, maybe that could be an anticipated. But as of right now, I really don't have anything too anticipated. Biggest surprise, I read the Britney Spears memoir, I read the Jeanette McCarthy memoir, and then I read, I can't remember her name right now, but the woman that plays Peyton in One Tree Hill, I read her memoir. I'm just falling in love with memoirs, and that was like the biggest surprise of this year, that I went to, I went to a different genre this year, and I had a lot of fun, doing that. New favorite author. Pierce Brown or Brandon Sanderson, even though I've been, I think Pierce Brown, no, I would say those two. I know that's kind of a cheat. Like, I think I've been reading these two series, but I've only been reading one series. I mean, Pierce Brown only has the one, but Brandon Sanderson, I've only read the one series, and they've been kicking it out of the park. Like, I didn't like Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, but Mistborn has been really good, and I'm not expecting it to go. I'm expecting it to go up from here, not down with Brandon Sanderson. And Pierce Brown's just like, he just takes my heart, beats it to the ground, gives it back to me, and it's just lovely. So I think if it keeps on going the way it is, I would say probably those two authors. New fictional crush. That's not an anime. You know what? Gray from Fairy Tail. Like, I am gonna maybe do a more of a video game anime version of this tag, because I want to talk about some video games. But yeah, I would say Gray from Fairy Tail, and then Jala from Fairy Tail has been my two favorite. Newest favorite character, Vin from Mistborn, especially at the end, like the very end. If you know, you know. She goes through so much, and I just fell in love with her character instantly. Yeah. And Urza from Fairy Tail. Books that made you cry. I feel like I only read 5 books, guys, but it's just I didn't have a lot of books that really hit me. The Will of Ascension. If I said books that made me cry and I did not mention this book and my boyfriend saw this, he would be like, where is it? The ending made me sob my eyes out. Like, and I watch a lot of people talk about these books. I did not know how this ended. And I was really shocked, because usually, I'm like one of those people, like, I'll think I'm like watching, a semi, spoiler review. Like, I won't hear anything, and then I just hear the whole ending. And I didn't, and I was completely and totally shocked. More of a shocked, but then I saw my eyes out, so it's all good. Books that made you happy. I don't read happy books, people. I enjoy books. I don't say that they're happy. I would just say watching Fairy Tail has made me happy. I know that's kind of a cop-out, but I don't read happy books, guys. And then favorite video. I've just kind of started. I think I did enjoy doing my Mistborn full trilogy review. That was a lot of fun to go through and kind of my feelings. I've been like enjoying the Let's Chat. I haven't been doing a lot of those. But I did one for V. Schwab, and I did one for the big 3, which is One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto, that I really did enjoy doing. But I think my best video right now is probably the Mistborn trilogy. Most beautiful book that you bought. I just got this through Illumicrate, but it's the Jade of Jade and Dragons. I mixed 2 words up. But this is just gorgeous. And then no, I have not read this book yet, guys, but like, that's just it reminds me a little bit of like my collection of the Jade City series that I have, and I've just fallen in love with and then the back is different. But I've just fallen in love with books kind of set in China, Japan recently. I read The Art of Prophecy, which would have been another in here, but I just wanted to keep it down to one book. But that was a big surprise too of how much I really did enjoy that one. But yeah, like this is gorgeous. And then books I need to finish by the end of the year. I before the hype gets like to where it doesn't matter very much, I would love to read That Least Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I just want to see if I like it. I'm not expecting either way. I mean, as pretty as that is, like, oh my goodness. But I've heard mixed reviews all over the place. I've had a lot of my people that I watch on YouTube really like it. I've had a lot of people that are like, this is whatever you want to just, you can use your own words. You can use your imagination. But like, I'm in it for a good time, and that sounds like what I would be getting out of this book is a good time, not like an, you know, and that's okay with me. I'm like, I'm here for a good time. Like, just give me a good time. I don't care if it's like extremely intelligent. I don't care if the writing is like the best thing I've ever read. Like, if it's a good time, like, I will have a good time. If it's not, then I'll let you guys know. But I'm hoping to maybe start vlogging now that I work from home. So this might be a future vlog. But we will see. And then I really want to start really getting into the Wheel of Time, like starting to actually like get a couple books read. My goal this year, just because I haven't been reading very much, work has been really, really busy, is just to read the 5th book. This is a chonker, but maybe if I can just get rid of the, like, maybe I can just get through that one, and maybe I'll get into, like, one of Lord of Chaos, and then I'll keep going from there. I know the slog is books 8, 9, and 10. Put it down below if you happen to know when the slog is. So maybe I can read it up to that point, maybe. But yeah, I would love to read. I would love to start like really getting into this series. Maybe get it done eventually. I feel like I've only read one book a year, and I don't know how that happened, but I was looking at my Goodreads and it was like, oh yeah, I've only read one Wheel of Time book a year. Like, I'm like, oh cool, that's gonna take me like 14 years to read one series. That's not happening, guys. Want to get it done. All right. And I know I had a like goals video, but I just thought I would mention it here as well. The Atlas Complex, to finish this trilogy. I am in love with this trilogy. I know this is like very mixed reviews. Olivia Blake, which is the author, I know is a very polarizing author. Like, some people really like her stuff, some people don't. But I've been liking this series so far. I haven't read her individual ones. I think once I'm finished with that, I think I might be doing what I do with Brandon Sanderson, maybe read some of her standalones. So I can actually like have a dent in my catalog here. Morning Star by Pierce Brown. This was also in a couple of my videos. I did my TBR. I don't even think I posted it, but I did actually do a TBR video. This was on here with the next 2 books, and I really want to get this done. I really want to get this trilogy done. I'd love to get some trilogies like completed, and then, you know, move on to some other things. But This I really want to get done. These have been, this first two have been so good, so I'm hoping the third one's going to be really good. And then Sword Catcher by Cassandra Clare. This was just, this was also on my TBR. I'm hoping to see if I like it. I'm not a big DNF person, but I've never read a Cassandra Clare before, and I've heard things. But I did really like the Mortal Instruments like TV show, and movie. I wasn't like I tried to read the first Mortal Instruments and I couldn't get into it, but I really liked the TV show and movie. And then part of that also TBR is Thistlefoot by Janina Ross Nethercott. I want to read more of my book of the month because they seem like they're either hit or miss. They seem like they can be really, really good, or like I need to get this off my shelf in like 2 seconds. So if I can, go through my book of the month and figure out like what I want to keep, what I want to get rid of, that would clear off my shelves. I'm pretty much at max capacity on these shelves. Like, I really need to either upgrade my shelf. I'm like at the point where I need to upgrade my shelves, which my boyfriend has already told me kind of, no, you can't, there's not much room to go up, even with my other 2 bookshelves that aren't IKEA. So I need to kind of see what I can keep, and yeah, need to go from there. But it's kind of my breakdown of my reading year. Like I've said, it's been kind of mediocre for the first 6 months of this year. And a lot of it is too, like, I've been going up and down with my job. Like, my job would be like extremely slow at one point where I could, I wasn't actually, like, my transition between, going from temp to full was, I was reading a lot because I was waiting for my computer to be set up. So I read a lot during that time. Now it's picked up again where like I have to, pretty much work my 8 hours and I don't have a lot of time to do anything else. So that's kind of where I am with my work right now. So, I mean, if work slows down a lot, there might be, more. Hopefully I can start reading a little bit more. I also do kind of want to finish ACOTAR. That book, that is coming out, and I can't remember what year. I think it's next year. I don't think it's this year. But what I've heard about how bad the third Crescent City book was, I haven't read that series yet. I'm a little scared. Hopefully she can keep the quality and just keep it a fun time. But I'm hoping to maybe get that done so I can kind of get into the Crescent City. I'm probably not going to go back to her Throne of Glass. I know, like, to really understand her universe, like, you should go back and read those. If I can get them all on audio, and maybe do like my Diamond Art stuff, I might do it that way, and maybe just listen to all of them. It just is a lot more books to collect, and I'm like, I don't know. It's a YA series, so I'm a little concerned, but I'd like to finish that as well. And just finish a lot of my trilogies, finish some standalones, and just try to clear more of my bookshelves. I mean, if I could get into Iron Flame this year too, which I don't know where it is on my shelf, and actually be caught up with a series, that would be great. If I end up actually liking Fourth Wing, I am trying to find a romantasy fantasy that I will like. I've gotten a little bit more into sci-fi, so I'm like, okay, maybe just like kind of expanding my genres a little bit. But yeah. So depending on like what happens with my work, is kind of how many books I'll be able to read, which is like how many videos. It's kind of why you're getting a book tag, because I haven't like finished anything recently. So I'm hoping to. I don't really have a wrap up for you guys either from last month. I think I think I finished The Will of Ascension. And I might have finished a couple volumes last month of Spy Family, and I think that's all I read. So, hopefully July's better. Probably not going to do a TBR. It's going to be kind of that stack that I showed you guys. But I'm hoping to be able to bring more videos out to you guys. I might do some more character analysis videos on, just maybe, book characters. I might do some of that. I want to do, like, I love to get a little bit more into, the anime sphere a little bit and talk about some of those, because there's some really good characters in the manga and anime sphere. But those might be some of the more videos. It might not be as many book reviews. It might be more of like my Let's Chats and like character analysis for right now, while I'm trying to like actually like finish books. But anyway, if you like this video, of course, I would love a subscribe, a like, and just comment and say, like, what was your favorite book? What was your least favorite book of this year? I would really like to know. But otherwise, you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you hopefully in a video coming sooner rather than later, and hopefully more book reviews than what's been coming out. So I will see you then.